what? Say what you will about that dude, but he made fucking 11 flicks, 10 of which were really cool. And he went out strong and shit like that, just so that people can kind of keep their head up if they're fans of our stuff, rather than just kind of like, yeah, he slinked away and stopped fucking making movies. I honestly think this is the best way that I can honor a Kevin Smith fan, is to not put out inferior work. You know, it's like, and the work is going to get more inferior. Hit Somebody is a fucking, it'll be everything that I have left, just into that fucking script and into that movie. And after that, there will be nothing for cinema. It would be me literally like taking jobs, you know, and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm so afraid. I look up on my shelf and I see a whole line of movies, man, Clerks all the way up to this one. And I look up there, dude, and I never wince. Not even on Cop Out. Like, I look at all of them, and I'm like, you know what? I know why I did that, I know why I did that, and that was special, and this was awesome, and this is how I became a better person off of this, and this was cool. Every one of them has a reason for being and a place in my life, and I'm so terrified. One day I'll look up on that shelf, and I'll be like, ooh, that's the one I did for the mortgage. And then that's the one I did because Harley wanted a pony and a Corvette. And that's the one I did because, well, I like hockey and somebody had to direct Mighty Ducks 9. You know? So for me, I'm like, that's the only way it can go, because all the content that I used to produce and used to write and stuff, now I just put into those podcasts every day. The urgency, the immediacy with which I can do that. I can have a conversation with Scott far funnier than any fucking movie I've ever made, because it's just two dudes yammering. Doesn't have to like figure out the logistics of how this will work, or how to swing the fat guy from the roof into the clothing store and shit like that. It's very fucking simple. Doesn't require a shit ton of work. We sit there, we talk, we listen, you build a movie in your head. And I don't know, that to me makes more sense. Like, that's kind of where I belong, especially after 20 years of doing the film thing. You also feel like, just step back, man, and let the next generation in. A motherfucker like me takes up a lot of space at a trough. So you want to step back and be like, go ahead in, man, because there are a bunch of people out there, guys, girls, what the fuck, dogs even, who have not made their Clerks yet, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be amazing when they get the chance to do it. And if I'm taking up space, that's maybe a little less space for them to kind of creep through. So for me, I'm just like, I've had my time. It's fucking been amazing. And even when fucking the world felt like it sucked, or people were coming down on you and shit, it was still the best job in the world. Every part of it was fantastic. But just because something's good doesn't mean you gotta stick with it forever. Sometimes you gotta go explore, man. That part of this movie came from a real desire to do something artistic. Like, after a while of just kind of doing what I did, I just wanted to be an artist again for a little bit. Like, just in a different way, particularly in this medium. Because I love this medium. Like, I think of film, back in the day particularly, as that girl in high school and or college that you just fucking loved, and you would break your neck for it, and you were obsessed with, and she gave you the time of day as well. Like, you couldn't believe your good fortune that a chick this amazing, or a guy this amazing, was into you, man. You spend every waking hour with that person. You think about them. Your friends are like, you want to hang out? Like, no, I'm going to hang out with her and shit. Everything is about this. All you do is fuck constantly. The way to approach film, the passion one needs for film, is the passion one needs for, like, that brand new, blissful, new love. Film, you gotta want to fuck in the shower. You understand? You gotta really want to be like, oh my god, we're out eating at a Denny's, but I need you right now. Let's go fuck in a bathroom. That's what passion for art needs to be. And I feel like in the last few years, my passion for my art wasn't even passion. It was just me kind of going, oh, this is, I even said it a few times. I said, this is, you know, it used to be my passion, but now it's definitely my career. This is what I do for a living. And that's sad, man. That's like when you meet those couples that are like, we're good friends, you know, we like to go out, we eat, we read the newspaper over breakfast, and we'll run errands from time to time. And you're like, when do you guys fuck? Like, oh, like every 4 months or so, or something like that. You know, it's just like my parents, essentially. My relationship with film became like my parents' relationship. They fucked each other to death and got bored and just started being friendly, and that was about it. And I think, like, in order to be involved in any art, you gotta want it. You gotta be passionate about it all the time. You want to tear its fucking clothes off and fuck it in the bathroom. And that's where I am now with film again. Well, I just want to take it in the bathroom and let's have sex while nobody knows. Let's get away with it. This is amazing. I want you so badly. I give up everything for you. And that's where you need to be, man. I enjoy it. Like, right now, I'm in a better place than I've ever been for the last few years in terms of, like, I'm fired up about my art. And it's funny because I'm about to end it. But that's why, I think. You know, the end is in sight, and I'm just like, I just want to go out as best as I can and do the shit that I didn't do or try, and try the shit that people always accuse me of never trying or doing. So I don't know, it's a good time, but yeah, I am kind of wrapping it up. And when I'm done with that, I'm just going to talk. Just go on Smodcast, continue talking. And those of you that listen know that Smodcast is going to become Smodcast Internet Radio on May 9th. And that's going to take a lot of time. So that's like, what, 5 hours a day, from 8 in the morning till 10. That's me and Jen doing S'morning with Kevin Jen. And then from 10 till 11, the new podcast of the day will go up, whatever it is for that day, like Hollywood Babylon on Monday, Jay and Bob Get Old on Wednesday. And then from 11 till 1, me and Jay host a show called Jay and Silent Bob Get Jobs. So that's like 5 hours of morning radio every day. And that's like what I'd rather do, man. That's where I'd rather be. So we're going to do that for a bit as we prep to get ready for the last one. I still have to finish writing Hit Somebody. We're going to need to find the money. And Hit Somebody will have a more conventional release than this will. It will be put out by a distributor, God willing. They'll spend money on marketing, but I won't let them spend as much as they would like and keep it low. But that movie's going to cost $15 million, and I can't go to those investors and be like, let me just sell it on Twitter. I'm not going to go for that. Once we're done with that, then we're kind of done. And I've talked about like Smodcast Pictures, like we kicked the doors open for this, and Smodcast Pictures I'm sure will exist in some form for Hit Somebody, but like I said, somebody else will put that out. But when we're done with Hit Somebody, and when I'm done, I hang up the directing lens or whatever the fuck, I still want to be involved in movies. I love movies. My whole life I've been into movies and shit. You like being around young talent and people who haven't done it yet and stuff, because that's amazing. There's magic there, man. When you're hanging out with people who are doing shit for the first time or communicating or getting to tell their story, man, it's great. You can give them the benefit of your experience and wisdom and shit. So we've decided that Smodcast Pictures we're going to use to distribute other people's movies once we're done distributing ours. And in order to do that, some people have been like, hey man, how do we get involved? Because, you know, filmmakers, everyone's got a film, they're like, we want you to release the movie because we like you and stuff. And I said, I'm very flattered by that, but first you have to understand a few things. Number one, it won't be for 2 years before we get to that. I still got to make it, I've still got to do this for a while, then we still got to make Hit Somebody. Number two, it's not going to be as simple as like, here's our movie, man, put it out. In order to be considered for distribution through Smodcast Pictures, you have to have been passed over by every distribution house in the business. That's number one. You have to come in with a sheaf of a ream of fucking rejection letters. You know, oh, Fox, ooh, Newsline, oh, New Line, holy shit, Miramax as well, huh? Everybody has to fucking pass on you, form letter or personal letter, even if it's a handwritten note that says you suck and suck is spelled wrong. That's how you get considered, because we picture ourselves more as the island of misfit toys for filmmakers, you know, for those who can't find a good shake anyplace else. We are the last bastion, the A-team of film distribution, but not the A-team, really the Z-team. And I would counsel everybody, like, look, try your damnedest to get with some other outfit, because they'll spend money on you and they'll give you what you think you want in terms of theatrical release and all these things. If you come to us, we're not spending money. Everything's all about elbow grease and passion and spitting and glue and stuff like that. So it's a reality, and we'll be doing it, but it's not going to be as easy as like, here's my movie, put it out. No, nothing worthwhile is easy. And you got to run the gauntlet. Everybody's got to pass on you. And then we're like, welcome, brother or sister, to our island of misfit filmmakers. So that's like about 2 years away. And that's, you know, life is always a series of like, oh, let me see what I'm doing here. You always got to plan and dream and shit like that. But that's one that we've been kind of working on for a little bit, even before Red State. And now it looks like it's coming into fruition. Now, thanks to Smodcast Pictures, the formation of that, and thanks to me going, hey, I'm done with this. Now it looks like we can actually do it. I've always wanted to release other people's movies, not as a distributor myself, just help them get their movies out. I don't want to make money off it and shit like that. I just want to see people fucking have what I had, man. I mean, it was cool. Like, it was a really neat thing. Like, somebody bought Clerks and changed my life like that. And I'm not very special. I'm not fucking, like, insanely artistically gifted or something like that. No different from anybody in this room. Everybody in this room has a fucking story to tell. We're 1, or 2, or 5, or 10. Something interesting to say, because your perspective is unique. Nobody else can tell your fucking story but you. And I feel like there's so many of those stories. And I got in, you know, like I said, through a fluke. And I got to stay, and it was great, but at the same time, I know my stories aren't the most interesting. I know there are other people out there. I meet them all the time. The people who like look to you because you made Clerks or Chasing Amy, and like, you understand me, dude, and for years I couldn't help them. It's like, what do we do? How do we do it like you? And you're just like, if I had the secret, I swear to you, I would sell it to you and make money. But